Welcome to 15-Minute Discourse. Today we are diving deep into something that's fascinated people for, well, I guess as long as we've been looking up at the stars. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Are we alone in this vast universe?
We got a whole stack of Wikipedia articles here, ready to explore the science, the history, and all those mind-boggling possibilities of finding life beyond Earth.
It really does push us to confront some pretty fundamental questions about ourselves and our place in the cosmos. What would it mean for humanity if we weren't alone?
That's a big one for sure. And it's interesting, this whole quest goes way back, even before we were sending probes to Mars or beaming messages into space. Remember those stories about canals on Mars?
Oh, absolutely. Back in the early 1900s, people were convinced those were signs of a Martian civilization.
It shows how our desire to find extraterrestrial life can really shape what we see, even if it turns out to be, well, just an optical illusion.
It was a misinterpretation for sure, but it definitely captured the public imagination and sparked a wave of scientific inquiry.
And that's the thing, right? As our tools and understanding advanced, so did our approach to the whole search. That's where astrobiology comes in.
Exactly. The launch of Sputnik 1 in 1957, that really marked the beginning of the space age. And with it, astrobiology was born as a serious scientific field. Suddenly, exploring other planets and searching for extraterrestrial life, it became a tangible possibility.
NASA was all over it, launching those ambitious projects like the Viking program in the 70s, trying to find life on Mars.
The Viking missions, they didn't find a conclusive evidence of life, but they paved the way for so much more. Missions like the Mars Sample Return, aiming to bring those Martian samples back to Earth.
Speaking of reaching out, we sent our own message into the cosmos, didn't we? The Arecibo message back in '74. A powerful signal beamed toward the star cluster M13, carrying basic info about us Earthlings.
It was more of a symbolic gesture, really, demonstrating our tech capabilities and our desire to connect. But there's a bit of a twist to that story.
Wait, now I remember reading about this. Wasn't there a mistake in the message?
Yeah, in the graphic of human DNA they included, the number of base pairs, it turned out to be incorrect.
Wow, a cosmic oops.
It was an honest mistake, based on the science at the time, but it makes you wonder, what if an alien civilization received that message and noticed? Would they see it as, I don't know, a sign of our fallibility?
Or maybe even like a deliberate attempt to mislead. It's kind of spooky when you think about it.
It definitely highlights the challenges of interstellar communication, that's for sure. We only get one shot at a first impression.
Okay, so let's talk chances. What are the odds of actually finding ET? That's where the famous Drake equation comes in, right?
You got it. Developed by astronomer Frank Drake back in '61, it's a tool to estimate the number of detectable civilizations out there in our galaxy. It considers things like the rate of star formation, how many stars have planets, and the likelihood of life arising on those planets.
A lot of ingredients in that cosmic recipe. But there must be so much uncertainty in estimating all those factors.
Absolutely. The Drake equation is really more about framing the question than giving us a definitive answer. Each factor has a range of possible values, which is why the estimates for the number of alien civilizations vary so wildly.
Some researchers say we're likely surrounded by them, while others argue that complex life is incredibly rare. The mediocrity principle versus the rare Earth hypothesis. Right?
That's the debate. Is Earth just an average planet in a teeming universe, or are we a cosmic anomaly? Huge implications either way.
And then there's the question of how long these hypothetical civilizations last. Do they self-destruct before they can reach out, or do they thrive for millennia?
The Drake equation doesn't tell us that, but it makes us think, doesn't it? About the nature of life, intelligence, and what it takes for a civilization to last.
So we've pondered the odds, we've sent out our message, but now the big question. Should we be actively trying to contact them?
That's the debate between SETI, which is all about passively listening, and METI, the folks who want to actively send out signals.
METI feels a bit like shouting into a dark forest. You never know who might be listening or how they might react.
That's the concern, isn't it? Attracting unwanted attention. What if there are hostile civilizations out there?
Which brings us to the dark forest hypothesis. The idea that everyone's staying silent out of fear. Creepy.
It's a chilling thought, but maybe overly paranoid. Perhaps there are benevolent civilizations eager to connect.
It's a gamble with huge stakes, but the idea of making contact with another intelligent species, that's incredibly exciting.
It certainly captures the imagination. And it leads us to another fascinating question. What if life exists in forms we haven't even imagined?
Life as we don't know it? Now things are getting really interesting.
It challenges our whole definition of life. Could life exist without carbon, water, or even DNA? Scientists are exploring alternative biochemistries, considering environments that would be totally hostile to us.
Like ammonia-based life in freezing temperatures or organisms using arsenic.
Exactly. There's even the concept of a shadow biosphere life right here on Earth using different biochemistry, completely undetected.
Wow, life we've missed because we were looking for the wrong signs. That's incredible.
It shows how much we still don't know and how important it is to keep an open mind when we're searching for life beyond Earth.
We've opened up so many possibilities. But before we get too carried away, we need to talk about protecting our planet and any alien life we might encounter.
You're talking about planetary protection, a big ethical consideration as we venture out further.
Right, so there's forward contamination, taking Earth life to other planets, and backward contamination, bringing alien life back to Earth.
Think about missions like the Mars sample return, bringing Martian samples back. There's always that risk, however small, that those samples might contain something harmful.
It's a tough balancing act, isn't it? Scientific discovery versus protecting our planet.
It really is. And it raises another question. Should we prioritize preserving certain environments like Europa, even if it limits our exploration?
It feels like every answer just leads to more questions.
Hmm.
But that's what makes this search so captivating. We've covered so much, from Martian canals to life as we don't know it. But now we have to face the biggest question of all. Where is everyone?
The Fermi Paradox. The contradiction between the vastness of the universe and the lack of any definitive evidence. It's a puzzle that's kept scientists and philosophers busy for decades, and there are so many proposed solutions.
Some say they're already here, watching us from a distance, maybe intentionally hiding.
Others say we haven't looked hard enough, or we're looking for the wrong things. Maybe they're communicating in ways we can't even imagine.
Or maybe Earth is truly unique, a 1 in a billion chance.
The rare Earth hypothesis. A humbling thought, making our planet all the more precious.
And then there's the possibility that civilizations just self-destruct before they can reach out. A sobering thought about the challenges we face as a species.
The Fermi Paradox, it makes us think about the fragility of civilizations and the possibility of, well, self-inflicted extinction.
It's a lot to digest. We've explored the science, the philosophy, even the ethical dilemmas, and this is just the beginning.
It's wild to think this search for life beyond Earth, it's not just about science, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, it's woven into our culture. Books, movies, we've been imagining alien encounters forever.
And those stories, even the really out there ones, they shape how we think about aliens, how we approach the search.
It's like a mental rehearsal for first contact, running through different scenarios in our heads.
Exactly. But think about it, if we actually confirmed alien intelligence, wow, the impact would be huge.
Huge doesn't even cover it. What do you think would happen? How would people react?
At first, I think a mix of awe, disbelief, maybe even fear. It would be a total game changer, shaking up everything we thought we knew. I mean, our place in the universe.
Scientists confirm alien life. Imagine the headlines. Social media would go crazy.
And religion, think about the impact on different faiths. How would they reconcile their beliefs with this?
Would they embrace the idea, try to fit it in, or completely reject it? It would definitely spark some soul searching.
And beyond religion, our social and political systems, would it unite us or divide us even further?
It's hard to say, right? On the one hand, it could transcend borders and differences, bring everyone together.
But it could also trigger all sorts of anxieties, competition for resources, fear of the unknown.
And the technology. Imagine the advancements. What if contact led to breakthroughs in energy, medicine, space travel?
The possibilities are endless, solving some of our biggest global challenges, like climate change.
It sounds like science fiction, but with real-world implications. How do we ensure those technologies are used responsibly?
It's not just about the science, it's the ethics, too. Interacting with another intelligent species, one that might think and act very differently from us. That's a whole new ballgame.
It's mind-boggling, but we need to be thinking about these things now, right? Before it actually happens.
Absolutely. We need to be prepared scientifically, culturally, ethically, ready for whatever comes next.
Okay, so we've talked about intelligent life, but what about simpler forms? What if we found microbes on Mars or Europa?
Even single-celled organisms, that would be revolutionary. Proof that life isn't confined to Earth.
It would change everything we know about biology, evolution, the possibilities for life throughout the universe.
Right now, a lot of the focus is on places with potential subsurface oceans. Europa, a moon of Jupiter, Enceladus, a moon of Saturn.
Those icy worlds with vast oceans hidden beneath the surface. Didn't Cassini find plumes of water vapor erupting from Enceladus?
It did, suggesting hydrothermal activity on the ocean floor, just like the environments where life thrives here on Earth, even without sunlight.
It's like a whole alien ecosystem down there. But exploring those oceans, that's got to be a huge challenge.
We're talking drilling through kilometers of ice, navigating uncharted waters. We'd need some serious technological advancements.
But imagine the payoff. Discovering life forms we've never seen before, potentially with completely different biochemistries.
It would rewrite our understanding of biology. The search for extraterrestrial life, whether intelligent or microbial, it's a testament to human curiosity.
It's pushing the boundaries of science and technology, and maybe even redefining our understanding of ourselves.
Then, there's another avenue, even more out there than traditional SETI, xenoarchaeology.
Xeno what now?
It's the search for ancient alien artifacts, remnants of past civilizations. It's still hypothetical, but it makes you think about what happens to civilizations over time.
Like cosmic archaeology, looking for the ruins of alien cities.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be tough to even recognize those artifacts? What would we be looking for?
That's the challenge, overcoming our own biases about technology. We could be missing crucial evidence simply because it doesn't fit our understanding.
So where would we even start looking for these cosmic relics?
Some researchers say look for unusual energy signatures, strange geological formations, planets with weird atmospheres, stars behaving oddly.
It's a long shot.
Yeah.
But finding an alien artifact, that would be incredible. Proof that other civilizations have existed, that we're not alone in the universe.
It would change our history books, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Put us in a whole new context, part of a much larger story. Speaking of history, remember those Martian canals we talked about?
Oh yeah, the lines people thought they saw on Mars. Convinced it was a sign of a Martian civilization, building canals to carry water.
It turned out to be an optical illusion, but it captured the public's imagination. It shows how powerful that desire to find life beyond Earth is.
It's a good reminder to be careful, not to jump to conclusions.
Hmm.
But those canals, they did play a role in shaping our fascination with Mars. It shows how science and culture intertwine.
Definitely. Our imaginations influence our scientific pursuits, and then those discoveries fuel our imaginations even further. It's a cycle.
Okay, last question before we move on. Imagine we do encounter an alien civilization. How do we even talk to them? It's more than just translating languages, right?
That's where astrolinguistics comes in, the study of communication with extraterrestrial intelligence, creating a language that beings with completely different cognitive abilities, different senses, could understand.
So finding common ground, a way to bridge the gap between our very different experiences.
Exactly. Thinking about language in a broader sense, beyond words and grammar, concepts, logic systems, even mathematical principles that might be universal.
So if you were designing a message, where would you start?
Start with the fundamentals: math, physics, basic logic.
Like showing them the Pythagorean theorem, explaining gravity.
Things that are likely to be true throughout the universe, the building blocks of reality.
Okay, but what about more abstract stuff? Emotions, art, music. Can you communicate that?
It's definitely a challenge, but some researchers think it's possible, maybe using patterns, sequences, mathematical ratios to represent things like musical harmonies or visual aesthetics.
Wow, like a cosmic symphony of ideas, hoping something resonates.
It makes you realize how much of our communication is rooted in our human experience, doesn't it? Astrolinguistics forces us to think outside the box.
It's pretty amazing to think about the possibilities and the challenges of talking to aliens.
And if we ever do make contact, astrolinguistics will be key, figuring out how to bridge that communication gap.
We've covered so much ground today, from the science to the philosophy to the cultural impact, but our exploration of extraterrestrial intelligence, it isn't over yet. So we've talked about the science, the possibilities, but it makes you wonder, why are we so fascinated by this search for life beyond Earth? What's driving us?
Well, I think it's that basic human curiosity, isn't it? The need to understand where we fit in this vast universe, maybe even a longing for connection.
Like we're looking for a mirror out there, some reflection of ourselves that could help us make sense of it all.
Imagine finding another intelligent civilization. It would change everything. Our history, our science, our whole understanding of, well, everything.
It's like we're searching for a cosmic instruction manual. Some answers to questions we haven't even thought to ask yet.
Maybe. But even if we don't find all the answers, the search itself pushes us to expand our knowledge, develop new technologies, confront our own limitations.
It's humbling, right? to realize we're just a young species on a tiny planet with so much left to learn.
And think about it, we've only been actively searching for a few decades. A blink of an eye in cosmic time.
It's like we've barely dipped our toes in the water. Who knows what incredible discoveries are waiting out there?
Entire civilizations with technologies beyond our wildest dreams, life forms so different we can't even imagine them.
Exciting and a little scary at the same time. Makes you realize how much we don't know.
But that's a whole point of exploration, right? Pushing those boundaries, challenging our assumptions, being open to the unexpected.
We could find proof of alien life tomorrow, or it could take centuries. But the search itself, it's a testament to that human spirit, that drive to understand our place in the universe.
And even if we never find conclusive evidence, the journey will have been worth it. Learning more about ourselves, our planet, this incredible universe we're a part of.
Well said. And on that note, it's time to wrap up our deep dive into the search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
It's been quite a journey, full of mind-blowing possibilities, scientific discoveries, and philosophical questions that, well, I think they'll stick with us for a while.
We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. If you're fascinated by this topic as we are, don't forget to like and subscribe to 15-Minute Discourse for more deep dives into the world of science, technology, and the unknown.
Thanks for listening, and remember, keep looking up, keep those minds curious. Who knows, maybe one day we'll get that answer to the big question. Are we alone?